All right, 4 o'clock on Thursday. It's time for the Real Estate Happy Hour.
We are back, and it is Super Bowl weekend.
Man, big game. Tom Brady wins.
The biggest one.
Hey, what are they saying? He's a GOAT.
He is the GOAT. That stands for the greatest of all time, for those of you who don't know.
How can you argue with that, though?
Oh, he's got to be. I mean, the guy somehow continues to play every year. And he's 41, I believe.
And you know what? He keeps hanging out with ugly women.
Oh, of course.
I'm just kidding, by the way.
They interviewed him last weekend, asked if, win or lose, is there any chance that this is going to be his last season? 0% chance.
He doesn't
Tom
know
Brady's
any better.
done.
He doesn't know anything else to do, right?
That's right. I mean, he's good. He takes care of himself. Fitness is there. He's not sustaining any major injuries.
Beautiful wife.
I mean,
I know I keep going back to that. I don't know why, but
well, and if you look at the crew around him, it's amazing that he's made it. He doesn't have
amazing.
Doesn't have an awesome running back and awesome receivers. Gronkowski's had an average year, and he's still there. Tom Brady,
best of all time, or GOAT.
He has managed to bring him on through again.
Well, if you saw the song we just played, of course, we came into Van Halen Jump.
Yes.
Right? Great tune. I know Carrie Ballinger's listening.
That was,
and she loves it.
David Lee Roth Van Halen.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, well, that's right.
Yes.
Totally different. But anyway, did you see Royal Caribbean Cruise Line? This screwball, who was, 23 years old, on the Symphony of the Seas in Nassau, decides he's just going to go from the 11th floor, or 11th story, if you will, off his balcony, and he just jumps in.
Yeah, I watched the video, and he was just joking around with some friends. All of them got kicked off the boat and banned, I think.
For life.
Now, the boat wasn't moving, obviously.
Yeah.
It was.
That takes it to a whole new level.
It was docked at the location or whatever. And, but yeah, the guy just jumped right off.
He said, and you know what, he was, I've never seen a guy more honest than this guy. Nick Naydev, Naydev, 27, posted an Instagram that shows him jumping for the ship. If you haven't seen it, it's classic. And then we were all in suspense, and he said, I was still drunk from the previous night when I woke up, and hey, I just decided to jump.
Yeah, it looked like him and his buddies. There was a few of them. It looked like hanging out on the balcony, and they probably had been talking about it. And then they decided I'm just thinking, they decided to probably, hey, let's make a video. Let's play it up a little bit.
Oh, it's going to be funny.
And I think he's got a couple hundred thousand.
100,000. It may end up being worth it because he can always go carnal.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll allow you to jump over there. But, he said he could barely walk for 3 days. He bruised his neck and tailbone.
Yeah.
Really?
He struck the
That's
water.
it? And, he said a little boat picked him up and took him back. But anyway, that is just nuts.
Crazy. Well, what about this? Here we are in Birmingham, Alabama. Okay. It's 50 degrees today.
50 today. I say it's 54,
but
exactly.
Tuesday, we missed school for some reason.
Yeah. Fake snow occurrence. It was I remember thinking it was 61 degrees roughly. And on Monday, we got the notice, hey, school's canceled tomorrow. And what is wrong with these? I mean, it used to be, do you remember growing up? Man, there was nothing better than waking up around 5 o'clock and the radio shows would start saying, Hoover City Schools closed today. Whatever, your local schools.
Yeah, what happened to that?
They're not even waiting. They're just going off. Look, listen, let me just say this.
If there's any chance, it's the night before. They are killing it.
Absolutely. I mean, think about James Spann. He works for a commercial operation, right? They're there to make money. And what do they do? What do they want to do? They want to get eyeballs on the TV.
Absolutely.
Biggest thing you can do, right? And of course they don't have meteorologists at Publix to tell you no bread, you don't need to come because it really isn't happening. They tell you, oh yeah, it's happening. Yeah. It's going to be a major snowstorm.
So they don't go back. We don't go back to early in the morning where you watch the list of school closings on television or you look on the internet to see the list. We just cancel it the night before. So it was a no-mageddon.
Well, and you know what really kills me? Everybody goes, oh, you don't know the decision-making that goes into it. That these are tough decisions. Not really. Just get in your car, Mr. Superintendent, about 4 in the morning, drive around, road's bad, cancel school.
And what I thought was funny earlier in the week, you brought up the economic impact.
Yep.
And so I started thinking about, okay, yes, we have some people that are off work. But think about the economic impact in, I saw a de-icer out there on 280 on Saturday.
Yep, they were going up and down.
That's extra revenue for whoever that was running that truck. The bread and milk, all the groceries that we buy on Monday, Sunday, and Monday.
Got to stock up for 8 years.
Huge.
Huge.
Yep,
absolutely.
And all the cat litter that Winn-Dixie had to put out in front of the store.
Cat litter. He loves cats. I mean, that's the last thing I'd be thinking of, but okay.
No, and there's an apartment complex back here close to us, and they cleared out, they put something down to help their, people getting in and out. So
that's right. Span must own stock, right? In those companies.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't he? I mean, because anything he says happens. It'd be like insider trading.
Yeah.
It's between Span, God, and the bread company.
That's right. I mean, it's funny. Howard Cannon, good to see you. It's I don't know. We had the snowpocalypse 4 years ago. Was it 3 or 4 years ago?
3 or 4 years ago. It was bad, but it was once in a
generation.
That
was really bad, okay? And kids were spending the night in schools. Terrible situation.
First time it happened in a lifetime.
And let me tell you, that is not going to go away quickly. That's as bad as the 2008 real estate crash.
Well, I agree with you. And the other thing is, too, think about it this way. Everybody goes, talking about that tough decision they're making. Name one time growing up, one time, back when we were apparently fools and waited till the day it snowed to decide. Tell me one person you know that got killed or badly injured because school was canceled morning of. I don't think of one. It's kind of like the peanut allergy, right? I mean, I know of nobody that's died of the peanut allergy.
And I feel like it's pretty straightforward. If the temperatures are below, last time I checked, freezing temperature was 32.
Yeah.
I think it's still there.
Yep. Absolutely.
If we have weather and it's not below 32 for a significant amount of time, you might want to wait and see.
Yeah. Hey, this is the second year in a row, by the way, that we've had a perfectly sunny day. By the way, couldn't have been more beautiful yesterday.
And tomorrow at 3 o'clock is going to be 60 degrees. So 2 days ago, snow. Tomorrow, 60. For our national audience that's watching, gotta be jealous.
Oh, you do know somebody that's died. I've never seen anybody that actually died from it. But
well, there you go.
Well, Howard Cannon, this will be right up your alley. Did you know there's a guy by the name of King Griffin? He's a billionaire. Just closed on the most expensive home ever sold in the United States. $238 million. And it wasn't even a single family home.
And it's funny, earlier this year, you said he bought several floors of a building in Chicago.
Yep. Largest.
So $238 million.
Largest purchase ever made in Chicago was $58.75 million early this year. This is a guy who's a hedge fund manager now.
What do you think about the commission on that deal?
I think you would make your decade.
It'd be okay?
Yes. I think you'd be perfect. What is that number? What is 1% of that?
A couple. Couple mil.
A couple mil. Wow. I mean, off one deal.
It's not bad.
But there's apparently only like 3 people that could have afforded it.
I'm sure he probably would have. I'm sure he probably negotiated a lower commission.
Yeah.
He couldn't afford all that.
Hey, let me be honest with you. I don't negotiate, on commission, but that one, we may.
Maybe.
Yeah. Absolutely not. But anyway, you may be wondering, who is this guy? Anyway, he began investing at the age of 19 when he was at Harvard. From his dorm room, he started buying and selling, and then he got into real estate, and then you tell me what this is, convertible bond trader.
Convertible bond. Yeah, that's some derivative, some stock bond derivative.
He made billions by buying distressed assets from now failed hedge funds. So he was basically picking out the good stuff.
Yeah, probably bought them on a discount.
But man, if you can read about this, Wall Street Journal, all the big ones picked this one up. Pretty funny that,
Pretty big deal, huh?
Yeah. I mean, and the fact is he ain't going to live there. That's the other part.
Well, next up is our interest rate update. So listen, I want to talk a little bit, this rolls right into the next segment is, we mentioned before the Fed reversal, okay?
Okay.
So yesterday the Fed came out and reaffirmed their pause, okay? Which saw...
Because we didn't believe them last month. We said, they're lying.
Well, so it reaffirmed that they're going to wait and see. They're going to watch the economy, and everybody loved it. The stock market loved it. Interest rates loved it. So, right now we're probably going to be inching down. Now, the numbers I usually pull on a weekly basis are an average. So since yesterday happened, we're probably going to be, sneaking down below 4.5% on a 30-year fixed rate, which is going to look really good, below 4 on a 15-year. So rates are improving right now.
That's unbelievable, considering where we were when you went on your cruise. That was back, mid-November? And
Early November, yeah.
We were pushing up to 5%. Now we're down below 4.5% and below 4 on the 15.
And we're looking at a wait-and-see attitude out of the Fed. So here's the deal. I don't think they can come back now and shock the market. So what that means is, they've got, I think 6 or 7 meetings scattered throughout the year. I could be wrong on that. Don't hold me to it. So I'm thinking they're going to have to preface their intentions before they do anything now. So that means we're probably 2 or 3 meetings out from having another rate move.
Well,
so that'll probably push us, at least through the spring market in the real estate business, which is what I was really wanting for this year.
Well, I thought it was really interesting too that Jerome Powell, who's the Fed chairman now, when he could have said something last month when Trump was at his throat, he was not going to give Trump a win on this. So he waited till the next meeting and then just said it because Trump, quite frankly, has been distracted with the wall and everything else.
Exactly. And the government shutdown.
And I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
But what happened to the stock market yesterday was amazing after.
And I think that's what you saw with this the follow through from the Fed is that investors are cheering their wait and see approach. And
we had 450-point jump in the Dow Jones yesterday.
Yeah.
Just from there. And by the way, did you know that I know we can get this later. I didn't know GE dropped out of the Dow.
I wouldn't worry. I
mean, how bad is that company? I mean, I remember 15 years ago thinking GE is a bellwether. You just hold it in any portfolio, and now not even a member of the Dow.
Yeah, that's a big deal. But I think there's all this talk about the Fed. It's funny, different stories I heard. I talked to somebody yesterday or a couple days ago that said rates had jumped up, and I was like, I'm not sure where you're getting that information, but so rates are definitely we improved yesterday. I think we're at a level now where we'd have to have some more significant news to improve further. I think we're at a floor, if you will, of them moving. I don't see anything huge that's going to take us a whole lot lower. But I mean, think about it. We've come from 5% pushing 5.25%, all the way back down to 4.5% pushing 4.25%. So that's a big swing in about a year, a little over a year.
It's amazing, and it's almost right back where we. But my gosh, the headache we've been through in that year, right? I mean, with this pendulum that we're on.
Yeah, and I think it's nice. We swung up to 5, and now on the way up, people were freaking out. 4.75. That's got to be high.
I love the young kids. If it gets to 5, oh my God!
Yeah. So now you come back below 4.5, and people are happy to hear that. So it's the dynamics of the market.
It is crazy. Well, moving on to our next segment: outdated advice home buyers should ignore. These are things
for home buyers.
Home buyers, don't listen. Look, here's the problem: is that you go home for Christmas, you go home for the holidays, you go home for your birthday, and you go to church, and everybody's got an opinion because they heard you buying a house. Well, the only problem is Uncle Frank, who you're getting your advice from, hadn't bought a house in 38 years.
And everybody wants to get involved, don't they?
Everybody has an opinion. There's jokes there, but I'm not going there.
Hey, and it's good. Yeah, it's good to get advice, and it's good to get help. This is a big transaction.
It's a massive transaction. And really, quite frankly, get advice from people that have recently done it, no problem. But when it gets into the weeds, these are the things that you need to ignore. And the first one is when Uncle Frank says, just wait till spring. Just wait till spring.
That's when the flowers
It'll be an abundance of stuff, right? Yeah. So what happens there? There is more inventory in the spring.
Yeah, more people decide to list their house, right?
Right, but the downside is sellers are far more optimistic about selling. They're less likely to give you a deal because there's so many more people and they feel like, I'm going to get it.
So if everybody's telling you if Uncle Frank's telling you to wait till the spring, how many Uncle Franks are out there telling all these sellers to wait? So the sellers are waiting for the best time too. So they want top dollar, and then all these other buyers in the market.
And there's no way to prove them wrong, right? In the sense of there are more houses.
It is definitely a time where the activity is higher.
But I mean, hey, we just listed a beautiful house down here in Chelsea. I mean, it is a luxury home, all the things, and there's nothing else like it. We're listed right now because, well, if you're looking, I want to be the only game in town, right?
Yeah, right now, this last couple of weeks, the buyer activity has picked up a whole lot, and I think you're going to see that continue into February and March and into the spring. It's going to be consistent, but if you're out there early, you're getting seen by all those new buyers coming on the market.
You certainly are, and the sellers just aren't willing to negotiate when it gets hot and heavy.
Right. And then what's the next one?
Well, it's for Aunt Lucy to come to you and say, we bought so many houses. I think you need to wait for home prices to come down. Just wait. Oh, it's perfect. Just wait. It'll happen. Well, guess what? It's like time in the stock market, right?
Yeah.
You need to go get a good deal when you can get it. The other thing is, too, if you're here in Birmingham, around the country, I know they're experiencing it, too, but you have to have a place to live, right? Rents are high. I mean, how much y'all paying in Boston, for gosh sakes, for your daughter? I mean, she may be in a dorm, but Boston, I can't even imagine. I guarantee you rents are higher than the...
Absolutely. And the one thing that I would say I don't see happening anytime soon is home prices coming down.
No, if they do, they're leveling off.
And listen, if home prices are coming down, we've got other problems that we're dealing with. There's reasons why they're coming down. So this is the last thing I'd be looking for.
Well, and the other thing I think you also want to do is stay ahead of inflation, right? The dollar of today is what, 2%, 3%? It's running right around 2%. So you may think the price is only going up a little bit or they haven't come down. One thing is just lock in today's dollar. Let's just get a better deal.
Get a better deal. I mean, interest rates are better now.
If they go up.
Obviously, prices are going up. Interest rates are going up. So, this would obviously be a better time to lock that in than 6 months, definitely 12 months down the road, right?
Absolutely. And the next one is your mother-in-law comes to you and she says, guess what? Make a lower offer so you leave room to negotiate. Guess what, though? We're in a low inventory, high demand market. You may be out of luck.
Yeah, so think about it. We've got lower inventory, so there's less houses out there. There's buyers coming on. This is the time. It's January 31st. Heading into February, March, this is the time that buyers are coming on. So if there's less houses, and there will be some houses added, but if there's less houses to shop for, then that means there are more buyers out there. That means there could be more than one offer out there. And so if you send something, a really low offer that offends the seller, they're not even going to entertain it.
Absolutely. And one thing, I'm working a deal right now that this happened to, in that I have a hot property in Birmingham, and the first offer comes in, and they're playing a game. It's obvious. They got room to go. Agents say, we got room to go. We're ready to negotiate. Well, in the course of the negotiation, guess what happens? Here comes an offer. They say, the low offer now, the first offer says, I got to have that house. Here comes another offer at full price, less some closing costs, right? Well, the first one gets the panties in a wad because we were here first. Now, you were there first, but you allowed somebody to come in between us.
Right.
We were going to marry.
Yeah, and it does.
But a better-looking girl came along.
And they don't have to counter. If they don't like your offer, they do not have to entertain it.
Yeah, it's asinine.
They're not obligated just because you submitted something first.
Well, and the other thing, too, is that I think that you're going to be going up against buyers that just go ahead and pay. And one of the terms that we've heard more recently is called, buyer exhaustion. And you've seen it, where buyers are going out there consistently getting beaten offer after offer after offer, and then they get just defeated.
Yeah, and we saw that a whole lot last year, and there was created a little bit of a panic with interest rates rising, and then you've got buyers out there that are in a 10 to 12 offer situation. So that you had both of those things. So now you got a new season, a new year. You've got some buyers that might have put the search on hold, and now they're coming back to the market. Rates are good again. You could see some of that buyer exhaustion. They don't want to deal with this. They don't want to deal with that same situation again.
And one thing I'd tell you is, I would just tell you to take the time and appropriately assess the home itself and the price and write an offer based on what you and your agent think it's worth to you. Don't listen. We can nickel and dime over $1,000, $2,000. There's a time and place for that. But sometimes if your goal is to actually get into that house, you need to go get that house.
Yeah, I think in this market, you need to be aggressive. You need to be smart. This is, obviously it's your home that you're purchasing, but it is a business transaction.
Absolutely.
So you need to also have some logic and be smart about what you're doing and not trying to get a huge deal.
Absolutely. One thing, before we get to the stocks, I've been asked a question. Everybody knows I'm a tax attorney originally, retired at 29. No, not retired yet. I'm not kidding about retiring, but I never, really retired. But anyway, they were asking me about what tax software to use now, and I've kind of looked into it for everybody. And, really interesting is that Credit Karma, apparently, product this year that's free for state and federal, phenomenal product, getting rave reviews from the accountants, saying it actually is a really good software program. Granted, I don't know what they're going to do with your data. They're monetizing all this somehow. Credit Karma is. It could be that they're just looping you into their system and getting you in there. Yeah. The other two, obviously, perennial will be TurboTax and H&R Block.
Tax Slayer.
Well, you like the name.
Yeah.
That's it.
I don't know. I saw it on a NASCAR. I don't know.
NASCAR? You watch NASCAR?
I don't.
I didn't think you did.
What's
up, Darren James?
10 years ago.
Yeah, that's funny. Hey, did you ever go to a race?
I still remember.
Hey, the races are fun.
Yeah, I've been to a few. I've been to a few races.
Look who just joined us.
Oh, Amanda Cap Swecker.
One of the first ladies of the happy hour.
Only.
That's right.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right. Well, stock market. What's happened?
Yeah, today we're back up to 25,000 on the Dow, which is obviously a significant number. I think we dipped down to 22,000 roughly back in November, right before the Fed reversal. So it's clear sailing. Yesterday was obviously a good day with the Fed speak. I had a meeting today with a financial planner and was talking about, mostly index funds anyway. Mutual funds, index funds is a way to go. That's where you need to put your money. Time is on your side. Who cares if there's swings here and there? We might still be at 25,000 in 24 months.
Well, you and I've talked about it it's hard to believe we're over a year now. But earnings matter. At the end of the day,
earnings are doing well, huh?
You can take all this stuff out, but the bad companies that are doing bad are doing bad, and the good companies are doing good again.
But I think we're definitely starting to see a shift. Like even Amazon today reported good earnings on previous business, but I think they're guiding lower. Okay, they're anticipating changes coming, but earnings have been well.
Well, we said it in the reactions that we saw, say, Royal Caribbean in the second half of last year.
Yeah, Royal Caribbean's good.
They kept reporting, hey, we got good earnings, just our forecasts that are pretty, what would you say? They don't have a clue because their bookings are so odd.
Yeah, and now, Royal Caribbean is one, looking at their financials, I think, the huge growth in 16 and 17 as far as their revenue. I mean, huge growth.
Massive.
Which makes sense on the tail end of a bull market, on the tail end of a booming economy. Right?
Absolutely.
It would make sense that there's more disposable income for individuals to cruise.
And one of the things they reported yesterday in their solid earnings was millennials. That millennials are cruising like never before. And part of that is they're adults now. And they got real money. I mean, it's hard to believe. That means we're getting fun. Oh, it's phenomenal.
We're going to try it again.
No, we're trying it again. That is funny. We will be trying to come to you from, I believe we're going to be in St. Martin, maybe. The happy hour will be, the good thing is we'll be together, so we don't have any of this, by satellite.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Absolutely. Well, moving on, football, I was about to say college football, but no, it's the National Football League.
Invest in Darren James, huge growth, huge.
Yeah, the D guarantee. Hey, I love the guy, because, if you're not confident in yourself, ain't nobody gonna be confident.
That's right. That is right. Karen Barnes-Charles in here. She's confident about herself.
One thing about Karen is she shows up late every time.
But I've heard that she has a real desire to be on the show.
Yeah,
because she loves.
We're gonna be getting that billboard.
She loves the live videos,
and we're gonna put her right on the billboard, right outside of Greystone, which is a neighborhood over here.
She loves it.
Absolutely.
That's what I heard. The D guarantee. Super Bowl, what is this, 53?
You tell me. It's LIII.
Yeah. They didn't plan that.
Who is this guy?
When they started the Roman numeral, when they started the Roman numerals, they obviously didn't
You think anybody down with Darren James down in the Bayou knows what LII stands for? Because they don't in Alabama either.
And next year it's going to be LIV.
Huh?
Just throw an E on the end. It's going to be live, Super Bowl live.
Oh, will it? See, well, you went to Georgia Tech. That's the only reason you know this stuff.
I know a lot of stuff.
Well, you're kind of a big deal.
I know a lot of stuff. We got Patriots minus 2.5 versus the LA Rams, okay?
Well, I mean, if you saw the stats from this year, the Patriots are 11-7 against the spread. So they're, 4 games over 500 against the spread.
Okay.
Right? And the Rams are virtually dead even, 9-9.
Dead even. Okay.
And
so, look, here's what I'm thinking. All right, the Rams escaped with Robygate, whatever you want to call it, when the DB ran over the receiver, which was absolutely abysmal. Like, that's a foul in Pee Wee League. And the only decision you have after that is the ball catchable? Whatever.
Whoa. Are you talking about what Darren's talking about here? Right? And the Saints.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they got completely robbed. That's a foul in the parking lot.
No.
That's a foul in
high school. Now,
so you throw the flag, and then all you got to look at is say, is the ball catchable? Clearly it was. So I have no idea who paid that guy.
Who that? That a foul.
Who that wrote the check?
Hey, that was a foul.
But listen, so the Rams escaped. They got lucky to win that game.
We assume they'll kick the field goal,
They have
right?
nothing to lose. Sunday, the Rams have absolutely nothing to lose. They're playing the Patriots, who are expected to win, the best team in the world, right?
Yeah.
So the Rams are going to come out guns blazing, I believe.
You know what? I agree with you. I'm not so sure that this Patriots defense is as good. And one of the things is, I think that the Patriots are phenomenal in tough situations where they have the conditions, the cold weather, where there's something going against them like it was in Kansas City. But guess what? I agree with you. Goff can flat out sling it.
Gurley had a terrible game. Probably won't have 2 bad games in a row. The Patriots are going to have some magic, which they probably will. And it's Tom Brady.
Hold on. You and I are complete idiots. We're sitting here telling you every reason they're not going to win.
But who lost last year?
Well, the Patriots. Well, they're going to lose again this year because the Rams.
I'm going Sean McVay. Listen, we didn't spend all that money to beat the Saints to then go lose the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no. The Saints. Well, that's a question. What do the Saints pull for in this situation, right?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, they're just mad.
You just missed how I slid that in there.
Yes.
We didn't pay all that money to beat the Saints and then lose the bowl.
It's like Alabama, right? Paying money.
Because that's Alabama is just
Alburn doesn't pay enough.
They're just better.
We just don't pay enough. Do we, Ashley Miller? I mean, I tell you what.
Ashley Miller is not a Bama fan. I don't.
But look at these guys. Look at these guys. Oh no. Ashley Miller is clearly not a Bama fan.
I don't think she is.
It's a he.
I don't think he is.
Yeah, he is one of the best agents down in Auburn, and Darren James down in Louisiana. One of the big agent, man. He's going huge. Nobody, they're not watching the game.
Nobody's watching.
Who that? They're gonna be watching.
And where's Darren at?
He's down in Louisiana.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Down near Baton Rouge, Denham Springs.
Yeah, Darren, you got robbed.
Hey.
I mean, no doubt, you got robbed. That's a foul all day.
Yeah, that's right. Cam Newton was a deal at $180,000.
Ashley, yes. The Cam purchase was definitely well worth it. And might I add, the coach of the year, Gene Chizik. Never let that die.
He's a great.
I'll never let that die.
Gene Chizik.
Coach
that's
of the
funny.
year.
Yeah, Darren James. That's right. Dennis Springs.
Baton Rouge,
his town is. Do you remember that town that flooded a few years ago in Louisiana because the interstates were built up and basically created a
bowl,
a river? Mm-hmm. Right. That was Denham Springs. That's his town. He even took
Denham Springs says. I'm not sure if Darren knows. You heard of Christy Solar down there, or Louise Thaxton in Louisiana? They both work for Fairway.
Oh, Fairway Independent. Darren,
Fairway
do you work
Mortgage.
with Fairway at all down there?
Great people, Christy Solar and Louise Thaxton.
Now, is Fairway down in all? There he goes.
Yeah, Darren knows Christy. You work with Christy? Love her. She's great.
Phenomenal. Yeah. Do y'all even have Fairway in Auburn?
No.
He works with her.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell her I said hello. She's one of the man. She's got a great story too. When she started off.
He helped her get her start. No Darren?
There you go.
No Darren, no Christy.
Man, I tell you, great story there.
Man, actually doesn't have Fairway down there. I'm surprised because, the one with the, I think the one with the, how do we get around saying who they are? The one with the stagecoach.
She is top notch, Darren.
Stagecoach.
Yeah, Wells is no good.
Oh, you said it. I didn't. They're down there in Auburn.
Actually, we can help you in Auburn, though.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
We are the best. You take for granted what other companies can't manage to do well.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and that's the thing about Auburn. It's such a it's hard to see past that area, right? Because it's such a close community. I mean, I remember working there. It's tough. I mean, that's why if you're down there, you go with an agent that's been there and knows everybody and everything. But there you go, Darren. Say.
Yep. Started working Internet Leads with me. Yeah, Fairway is a great company. She really, her story from where she started. She did start at a small bank doing farm loans, I believe. And it's just,
farm loans in Denham Springs. I'm shocked.
It's just killing it now.
Yeah,
great.
Darren's. Funny thing about Darren is Darren's one of these guys that's a very manly man. Used to be years ago was a police officer and all this, or a state trooper, guarded the governor. All these things, manly stuff, and then you get them talking. And what is Darren? One of his biggest passions, he loves Mickey Mouse and Disney World. Big time. You want to get them excited? Take them to Disney World. It's just an honest thing. Most masculine man who loves Disney World.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, that is funny.
That is small world, yeah. That is, man, I got some stories of hanging out with Christy when she first started with us. That's funny.
I love everybody's live listening to the Christy Solar Show.
That's right, Christy Solar. Maybe she'll tune in.
Well, man, we sure hope everybody has a good week. Don't forget, he says he loves some Disney.
Enjoy the Super Bowl this weekend. Enjoy this weather. It's going to be beautiful.
It's going to be beautiful. School's probably going to be out.
And like I say, we are one day closer to March, which, it could get cold. It always does in March a little bit, but it's definitely good weather.
Closer to cruise time.
Right around the corner in March.
Well, and the other thing is, if you love the happy hour, don't forget to check out our podcast edition. Anywhere you find great pod.
That's what Collier says.
Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, everywhere you can find it.
We are kind of a big deal, so just, pass it along. Share this.
Hit the like button. Check out the Facebook page, also our YouTube channel. Subscribe to that. Catch some updates there.
Yeah, and if you got any real estate or mortgage questions, let us know. Be happy to help.
And we've heard from folks off, that have sent us messages. We've answered it on here. So anyway, hope you all have a great week. Thanks for everybody that commented. Bruno, Darren James, Ashley Miller, all you guys. Love you. We'll talk to you next week.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.